Hi all, Namaste, Vanakkam, Sasrikal. Today I wish to show you site inspection, quality check and testing of squirrel cage induction motor. Whenever we receive a HT motor, we have to ensure motor healthiness and quality. Before going to discuss routine tests for motor, I show you after unpacking of HT motor front portion, starter winding, which is called as terminal blocks, and motor drive hand side and motor non drive hand. Now we see motor winding other end, motor star connection side. Before closing the enclosure of star connection side, we have to ensure tightness of star connection. And this is top view of motor RTD BTD terminal box, front side of starter winding, which is called power terminal box. Here we can connect the 3 core power cable, R phase, Y phase, B phase, also denote as UVW. This is RTD and BTD terminal box. By using this, you can measure and monitoring the temperature of windings, R phase, Y phase, B phase, as well as motor bearings in drive end and non-drive end. This is space heater for moisture free in winding. Now we can see motor nameplate. Voltage rating is 6.6 kV, kilowatt is 450 kilowatt, RPM 1492. Now we can see the motor terminal box covers opening for the checking of motor winding resistance and insulation resistance. Now we will discuss how to check a winding resistance and insulation resistance. Before going to this, tightness of R phase, Y phase, B phase, terminal blocks as well as star connection side also. Now we look after opening of RTD BTD terminal blocks. Here placed 2 rows of terminal blocks. First row is for RTD, second row is for BTD. This is connection drawing of RTD BTD and this is a space-heater terminal block. For measuring of winding resistance, we can use micrometer and multimeter depending on rating of motor. For this motor, you can use multimeter, kept the multimeter in resistance mode, and the 2 probes of multimeter touch the across of RY, 5B and BR. Measured resistance is 1.0 ohm across the phases. Now coming to insulation resistance test for motor winding. We can check insulation resistance with this tester. Applying voltage is 2.5 kV for 6.6 kV rating motor. Connect the probes of tester. Line cable is on phase and earth cable is on body of the motor or earth. Now press the knob and lock. Now you can measure the insulation resistance in different intervals for 15 seconds, 1 minute and 10 minutes. To know the polarization index and dielectric absorption ratio. After 10 minutes, release the knob. Check the insulation resistance 15 seconds, 1 minute and 10 minutes with pressing of DAR switch and note down the values. For cross checking, we can measure the DAR and PI with shown formulas. Both the PI and DAR measures the insulation of winding with respective body. If PI is 1 or below the 2.0, we have to ensure and check the insulation winding or dust and moisture in the winding. As well as DAR if 1.25, we have to check the insulation winding also. To prevent of moisture and dust, we have to install space heater. Part of inspection and quality check of HT motor, we have to check the space heater resistance and insulation resistance of space heater. Space heater resistance is measured with multimeter and insulation resistance is measured with megger with applying of 500 voltage per 1 minute. After 1 minute, release the knob of insulation tester and note down the readings. Now coming to check the RTD BTD terminal box. RTD means resistance temperature detector for windings, RYB. Here we use 2 number for phase, PT100 3-way simplex. BTD means bearing temperature detector to know the temperature of bearings in drive end and non-drive end sides. Here we used BTD 1 number for bearing PT 100 6-way duplex. Before checking RTD BTD resistance, we have to check and tighten the all connected terminal blocks. Here we measured the RTD and BTD with multimeter as per shown connection drawing. Means 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 4 to 5, 4 to 6 for R phase. Vice versa we can do Y phase and B phase also. For BTT 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 4 to 5, 4 to 6 for drive end. Vice versa non-drive end also. And test results we have to cross check with FAT reports. Motor shaft should be locked in transport. Here motor enclosure is totally enclosed fan cooled. That means TEFC model is designed to allow outside air to freely circulate through the motor windings to keep the motor cool. After unlock the shaft, check the freeness of shaft rotation. While manual rotation, we have to check any abnormal noise from drive end and non-drive end. Mainly in the inspection point of view, you have to ensure the quantity of greasing in an inlet and outlet of drive end and non-drive end side. Greasing quantity to be not to be more, not to be less. Now you discuss about no load test and block rotor test. In no load test should be 20% of full load current. No load test on a squirrel cage induction motor involves running the motor with no external load applied, allowing you to measure the current run by the motor. By this test, we can find out magnesium current and core losses. Procedure of no load test: you have to connect the three-phase variac to the starter winding and apply the rated voltage and measure the magnesium current. That means no load current and no load power factor and no load power. And now discuss block rotor test. Normally performed on an induction motor to find out the leakage impedance and short circuit current at normal voltage. Procedure for block rotor test: connect the circuit to the starter winding, set the variac 3-phase to 0, adjust the instruments, block the rotor by hand or tightening the belt, apply the reduced voltage to the starter, record the meter readings and turn off the power supply. With this test we can find out short circuit current and leakage impedance with 2-watt meter method. Here you can check out of calculation.